Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you've all been enjoying the content. Remember, if you do like it, don't forget, tap the like button, and if you click on the subscribe, and then if you also tap the little bell, you'll be notified of all our videos we put up every Wednesday and Sunday. Don't want to moan, sorry if I'm squinting, but the sun is out, stunning day. And in today's episode, we're going to look at the next field to plate episode. So we've done 5 episodes so far, and we've looked at basically how the Jersey rule from the start of the process right through until the aim is to get to the harvest. We've shown you right up to the planting. So we've done 5 episodes so far. Today's episode is looking at what happens, you can see behind me, the next stage after planting. So they start growing, and we'll just quickly look at a recap of what happens and what we do, the different things we do and how we manage them. So we'll show you all the different things now. We are looking at here in our next episode, this is episode 6 of our field to plate series I just mentioned before, and we're just going to see how the potato progresses from the planting stage, that's when we finish the planting, that was episode 5, and how it then grows before it's ready to be harvested, and the processes that we do. So you can see here, this field, this was planted 3 weeks ago, and these potatoes are now all now emerging. You can see, all now emerging. You can see these ones here, all emerging well. These potatoes have not had any plastic covering because they were planted a lot later, so they haven't needed any plastic to protect them. They're all growing well, and there's a few different processes we do to ensure that the ground and the potatoes keep growing well. We can pass scarifier tines, so we can break up these little ploddy things here because it's been a bit of a wet planting. So we can pass a cultivator between the ridges here. So you won't touch this where the potatoes are growing, we'll just touch in the middle bit. So I'll show you a few clips of that now, and that's the basic scarifying in between the rows. So we've got Pavel here in the 5115M, just going to be coming up the rows. And this is a field of potatoes, planted a few weeks ago, and what he's doing here is he's passing individual in between the rows. So as you can see here, because these potatoes were all planted, it's rained quite a lot, so the soil is kind of got quite hard. It's called capping. So you can see here the soil has gone quite hard on the surface. So he's just passing scarifiers and a couple of knife rollers in between each row, and that just helps to soften up. You can see now the ground's all nice and soft in between, and just helps the potatoes have better conditions of growing. It's a John Deere 5115M, very simple machine. Scarifier tines at the front, a knife roller, and then some crumble rollers on the back. And you can see he's lifting up there, that's what the machine looks like. Going to spin around now and come back down. You see at the front, so the first few things are some tines, then there's a knife roller, and then there's some crumble rollers. So it just helps, you have to wait, so we've waited now, it's been dry for nearly 10 days now, so it's meant conditions are good and we're actually able to pass this. So a very simple process, but it just then, as I said before, breaks up the soil. It's now nice and soft all in between the rows, and it just gives the potatoes an extra boost, and they'll now keep growing nicely. We're due a bit of rain again over the weekend. Can't quite believe we're saying this, but we could do with a bit of rain. We've had some really strong northerly easterly winds, so it's dried up the soil a lot. But yeah, simple machine, but just helps keep the potatoes grow nice and healthy. As I was just saying before, we treat fields in different ways. Yeah, this field here, you can see in front of me here, this was planted on the 20th of February, Jersey rule potatoes, and this was covered with polythene. The field over there, you can just see the one in the distance there, that was the 8th of March, that has not had plastic. So we'll just have a bit of a dig underneath and see how they've been growing. And yeah, just look at the different processes. Once the plastic has been taken off, we then have to pass them with a machine, and that just rebanks them and puts more ground on top of this ridge here to help reduce greens. But if we have a dig down now and have a pull up of one of these, get over here and have a look. As I said, these were 20th of Feb, so what they've now been, these are 20th of Feb, and you can see they are all now like kind of marble sizes, so you can see they're growing well, very good tuber numbers actually, and they are, yeah, looking good. We'll go and pull up one in a minute from across the way and just see the difference, but yeah, that's a bit of a kind of how the potatoes are growing. These are all like at the mid-size, so when we actually come to harvest them, kind of the smallest we'll be digging will be these ones. So we need these ones to kind of triple in size, and then these little, there's a little tiddly one, this one here, we need that to triple in size as well, to be kind of this small one to get to this size, and then that's a good size. So yeah, they're growing well, looking healthy. But just to show you the difference in planting date and what polythene does and what plastic does to ensure we get an early crop. So we're in the field where I just pointed out before, across the hedge. These were planted on the 8th of March. They were done with our planter. They have not had plastic on. The reason why is there is some springs in this field. You can see in the middle there, a little rectangle. That shouldn't be there. It's a bit annoying, but it is there because it was too wet, we couldn't plant it. There's also a little section where we stood here. That's why this field got left out of, should have been planted altogether, but it wasn't. Potatoes are still looking nice, really good in this field as well. We've scarified in between the rows just to break up the ground. I'll show you that machine in a minute actually, how that works. And then we've also, this field hasn't been banked yet, so it hasn't had the extra ground put back up against the potatoes. But it will do when it dries out a bit, probably end of this week coming. But if we just pull one up now, there you go, you can see they are considerably smaller. Give that a little shake. You can see they are all the size of marbles. They're all really small, and it's it's kind of what you'd expect, but really good numbers forming there. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, a lot of numbers. So it's got great yield potential in this crop, and hopefully we're going to have some nice warmer weather. There's plenty of moisture in the soil, and yeah, need some warm weather, and we should get a really good crop from this field. That's just showing you when you see the field before. The biggest one on this stalk is probably one of the smallest ones on the other stalk. So yeah, these are a couple of weeks behind that field, but still great potential, and they're looking nice and healthy. So we should hopefully, fingers crossed, get a good yield from this field. So this is re-ridging the potatoes. You can see here, the machine is going along and it's chucking ground up onto these ridges. So as you saw before, the ground was not re-ridged yet, and the potatoes are growing well. We saw the little tubers that have now been formed on these potatoes. By doing this and reapplying ground back onto this ridge, that is helping to reduce the chance of green potatoes forming. So green potatoes form when sunlight, as it's a very nice sunny day today, comes down and actually cracks. If the ground's cracked or tubers are allowed to see the sunlight, they go green and they're then unmarketable. We don't want those. So that's what this machine does. It just re-ridges. You look down the row, might be better sunlight that way. You can see all the ground has now been re-ridged. Just the process. So if they've been covered with polythene, this is done as soon as the plastic's taken off. But if they haven't been, we'll pass the scarifier first, as you've seen, and then we'll pass this machine a couple of weeks later once they're big enough. We'll just see the machine come down now. Doing a really nice job of re-ridging all the potatoes. This is the final process before the potatoes will be harvested.